We begin with an encouraging story from Iraq. Good evening. I'm Mark Martin.
And I'm Wendy Griffith. We've learned new information of what led to the release of an imprisoned Iraqi pastor. Pastor Jamal spent 21 months in jail, but tonight he is free, thanks in part to a bold step taken by a U.S. ministry. And our chief international reporter, Gary Lane, joins us now with this amazing story.
It is amazing, Wendy. Pastor Jamal's story is a remarkable testimony of perseverance and divine intervention. I talked earlier with World Compassion President Terry Law. He says Jamal had received treatment for a brain tumor before his imprisonment, but he continued to suffer headaches in prison. And that led Terry Law to make a personal visit to Iraq and U.S. Senator James Inhofe to write a letter requesting Jamal's release.
When the government leaders actually saw the letter, it had great impact. When we appealed for him, we did not do it on guilty or innocent. We did it purely on the basis that the man was probably going to die, and on a humanitarian basis, we pled with the authorities there to turn him loose.
And Terry, how have you seen God's hand in this entire situation, in him getting his freedom?
Well, when we walked in to meet Kareem Sinjari, Jerry, I didn't know what to do. I'd never done this before. I'd never appealed for a man's life. And when I walked into this palatial building to meet with the Minister of the Interior, Kareem Sinjari, I had been praying. I wanted God's wisdom. I felt like we were offering the Kurdish government an opportunity to be shown around the world as a place of openness for the gospel. When Kareem Sinjari said, I know several hundred Muslims who have proselytized to Christianity, I couldn't believe my ears. It was shocking. And he said, we are going to demand freedom of religion here in the future. And again, repeated that we are the American success story in Kurdistan.
Law says he recently learned that God has healed the pastor.
I found out a day and a half ago that in the European city where we took Jamal, they've given him an MRI. They've examined him from every direction. And the incredible report is that he does not have a brain tumor. So Jamal is not a sick man. He is a well man about to have an open door to do what the Lord has for him in the future. It's an unbelievable story.
It really is, Gary. I mean, not only is he free, but he's healed. What's next for Pastor Jamal?
Well, you know, he hasn't seen his family outside of prison, spent time with them for almost 2 years now. So he has a wife, 3 sons, a daughter. They're spending time together, joyous time in Europe at an undisclosed location. And he's seeking the Lord, Wendy, wondering what the Lord has for him next.
Gary, what's the takeaway for Christians in the West who've been following this?
Well, the takeaway is this. Pray, pray, pray. Get on your knees and pray. God wants us to intercede for Christian prisoners in Iran, Iraq, Asia Bibi in Pakistan, Pastor Saeed in Iran, and it makes a difference. You see how God works and how He's responded. The
prayers of the righteous availeth much, not little.
And I have this whole interview with Terry Law on my blog.
Oh, fantastic. All right, they can see that at cbn.com.
Yes.
Thanks, Gary.
Sure.